Hey guys, welcome to Annalvsmakeup. Today I'm going to be trying some new drugstore products. I don't have quite a full face of makeup, but I do have some products that I've been really wanting to try because I've heard other YouTubers talk about them or I've seen them on Instagram, so I want to go ahead and try those today. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I want to try is this Hard Candy Sheer Envy Hydrating Primer. It's a 12-hour makeup grip primer that plumps, moisturizes, and perfects. This is what the packaging looks like. I have tried some of Hard Candy's products and I really have liked a lot of things that I've tried. There have been some products that are kind of hit or miss, but for the most part, the stuff that I tried has been pretty good. A lot of people that have used this primer compare it to the Milk Makeup Primer, so that's why I picked it up, because I figured if it works like the Milk Makeup Primer, this is much more affordable than that. So it does look like the Milk Makeup Primer. It actually has like the same consistency and the same tone of the Milk Makeup Primer. It has that little bluish green tone to it. So I'm going to go ahead and place this on the perimeter of my face. It feels like the Milk Primer. When it goes on pretty good. It's easy to blend in. And then it starts to get like a tackiness to it. And that's pretty much how I've felt the Milk Primer to work on my skin. Yeah, it feels a lot like the Milk Primer. So we're going to go ahead and let that sit. I'm going to go in with my Shiseido Poreless Matte Primer. This is what I love for my T-zone. So for eyeshadow primer, I'm going to go in with the NYX Proof It Eyeshadow Primer. I love this eyeshadow primer. I'm almost out of this one, so I'm going to have to go out and purchase another one. So I have two of the Almay Velvet Foil Cream Shadows. I have used these in the past before. I don't know where any of these are in my collection. I don't know what I did with them, so I'm not really sure what happened to them. But I have mentioned them on my channel in the past. But anyway, I went ahead and purchased two of them. I purchased Violet Eyelet and Endgame. So these are the colors. Today I'm not going to go in with the purple. I think I'm just going to go in with the bronzy tone one. So I'm going to use that one on my lid today. I am going to go in with a couple of other shadow palettes that I pulled out to actually go with this cream shadow because I don't want to just go in with this. I kind of want to mix some other shadows with it. So what I pulled out of my collection is the Going to Coconuts palette and also the Chocolates palette by Juvia's Place. These are the two palettes that I'm going to actually go into. So yeah, let me go ahead and show you. This is the chocolate one. And then of course the Going to Coconuts is another really beautiful palette by ColourPop. And those are the shades right there. I'm going to take the lightest shade in the ColourPop palette and I'm going to put that all over my lid to set that primer. This is just to kind of set like a base for all the shadows to go on top. And then I'm going to go in with this shade right here in my crease. So now I'm going to go in with the Endgame eyeshadow. This is, like I said, a cream eyeshadow, and I'm going to show it to you. A little bit goes a long way. But that is the shade right there. Really pretty bronzy shade. I'm going to take that brush that I used to lay down the first shade and I'm going to use it to actually just dab it into the shadow, and then I'm just going to put it all over the lid. Now this is a much cooler tone. So I'm just dabbing it over the lid just like that and just kind of blending it. It's such a pretty color. You could also do this with your fingers if you wanted to. You don't necessarily have to use a brush. I just feel like I have a little bit more control with the brush than I do with my fingers when I'm putting this shadow on my lid. And then what I try to do is just kind of blend the edges. So now what I want to do is go in with the Chocolates palette by Juvia's Place. And I'm going to go in with this shade right here. It is more of a dark bronzy tone shade. And what I'm going to do is kind of darken up that corner just a little bit. And if it gets a little messy out here, guys, we're going to go ahead and clean that up, so don't worry. I'm going to take my finger and go into this shade right here. This is what it looks like. It's super metallic. And so I'm going to take my finger and just kind of press that on the center of my eye. Okay, I'm going to just take this makeup wipe and I'm going to clean up the edges. And I don't want a real sharp line there. I'm just kind of cleaning up. So for foundation today, I'm going in with this Almay Skin Perfecting Comfort Matte Foundation. I had never tried this foundation from Almay. I did purchase the shade 220 Warm Cashew. This was probably the closest shade to me that I found. When I went to Target, they didn't have a huge range of shades. So I'm not sure if there are more shades on the website. So we'll check that out for you guys. If they do, I will list it down below. But yeah, I really didn't find many shades in the store. So I went ahead and picked up the Warm Cashew because I figured it was closer to my skin tone than the other ones. Now this says that it's oil-free, it's for all skin types, it's hypoallergenic, and it's fragrance-free. It also claims to have all-day wear, which I will be wearing it all day today, but I'm not doing an all-day wear test. But I will test it off camera and let you guys know. It also says it's cruelty-free and it's dermatologist tested. So it doesn't really say much on the packaging. It is a glass frosted bottle, which is pretty cool for a drugstore foundation. And then when you open it up, there is no pump. So it's just an open bottle. I'm gonna pour some on my makeup plate here. I poured what seems to be about a pump. This is it right here. As you can see, it's kind of running down the plate. So I'm going to use a sponge with this. If I don't get enough coverage out of this, I'm gonna go ahead and use a brush, because a lot of times with a brush, I get more coverage. So let's go ahead and place this on my skin. It seems like it would be a little bit light, but I don't know. We'll see if it oxidizes. With that one layer, it seems to give like kind of a, I don't know, like a light medium coverage. It's not really medium. It's leaning more on the light side. So really probably a light coverage in the beginning. So I'm gonna put a little bit more on, and I'm gonna go in with the brush because I think that the sponge is kind of soaking some of that foundation up. So I'm gonna go in with this Zoeva brush. It's a buffer brush. I'm just going to press that into the skin. And yeah, the brush seems to be giving a little bit more coverage. Okay, I'm gonna go in with a little bit more, and just in those areas where I feel like I need more coverage. So by looking at it, looks really nice on the skin. It does say that it's a comfort matte, so it's not like super mattifying, which I like. It looks really nice on the skin. It blended in really well. I can't build it to a high coverage. I feel like if I put any more on, it's going to look like I have way too much foundation on. The shade seems pretty good to me, so I'm not really worried about how the shade looks. I think it looks pretty nice. Let me go ahead and put my concealer on. I am using the Meet Your Hue Concealer by Dose of Colors. This is in the shade 17. And this is a Dose of Colors sponge, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that. I'm gonna set my under eyes with a Pretty Vulgar powder. Then I'm gonna set right here and on my nose with the Undone powder in light. Then I'm gonna set the rest of my face with my Undone powder in medium. For bronzer, I'm gonna go in with the Ilia bronzer. Next, I'm going to use this e.l.f. blush. This is a blush highlighter duo palette that e.l.f. just came out with. This one's in the shade Coconut. It's a really pretty like brown toned blush. Now I have used this highlighter, guys, and I don't like it. It feels so crumbly. It's just horrible. But the blush itself is really, really pretty. So today I'm going to use it as my blush, and I'm just going to just tap my brush in there lightly because these have been super pigmented, but they go on super beautiful on the skin. That's really pretty. I love this shade. It's gonna be like perfect for the fall. So we're not gonna use the highlighter because it is very chunky. So we're gonna go into this highlighter. This palette's also by e.l.f. and this one's called White Peach. So before I go into lips, I'm gonna do my eyebrows and my eyelashes, and then we'll be back and I'll go into some lip products, and then I have a finishing spray to finish off this look. So I'll be back in a bit. I have 2 lip products to show you guys, and they're both by the KKW Beauty line. I've got the lipstick and the lip liner called Love. So this is the packaging. This is what it looks like. It's very beautiful, soft packaging. I think this is actually her hand from a wedding photo. So yeah, this is really, really pretty. So the packaging of the lipstick itself is pretty much similar to her other packaging that she has, but this one here is more of a frosted type packaging. It is still plastic. And then the lip liner looks like this. Now this lip liner is more of like a very soft cream tone. The other ones are more of a blush tone color. So these are a little bit different. This is actually a collection in her line. I'm not sure what it's called. I'll put it right here. But yeah, I purchased both of these. I love KKW lip liners. I use the number 2 and the number 1.5 like all the time. So I love the creaminess of these. I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips really quickly. Oh yeah, this is the same formula as her other lip liners, super creamy. I love the tone of this, kind of like a very cool brown tone. So here is the tone of the lipstick. It's like a beautiful peachy shade. So I'm gonna go ahead and place this on my lips. That shade is perfect. I'm a big fan of these KKW lipsticks. They're super creamy. They feel really good on the lips. They don't feel drying at all. Oh my gosh, that is so gorgeous. For the finishing spray, I picked up this Milani Fruit Fetish Make It Last finishing spray. This one's actually in mango coconut. They had like a watermelon. They had like, I think a pear. So this is the one that I was drawn to because it is mango coconut. Coconut is like a scent that I'm always like into, so I picked this one out instead of the others. So now what I'm gonna do is go ahead and spray this. I'm gonna cover my eyes because I should have done this before I put my lashes on, but we're just gonna go for it. Okay guys, let me go ahead and go over my thoughts of these products. The first one is the Milani Fruit Fetish Make It Last setting spray. This setting spray was pretty good. I love the original Make It Last setting spray. I think it's one of the best setting sprays at the drugstore. So this one is just like that, but with a scent. Now the scent is not strong at all. I could barely smell like the coconut and mango, which if you're sensitive to scents, this might be something you wanna try because it's super, super light. It doesn't have a strong coconut mango scent to it. So I really do like this. I am gonna keep using it because like I said, I like the original Make It Last. I think it went on my skin nicely. Now it's not a super fine mist. It's got a little bit more punch to it, but even so, it went on well. It didn't spot all over my face or anything like that. So yeah, I really do like this product. For the KKW lip products, I'm in love with this combination. I love how this defines the outside of my lips and has that kind of shadow look to it. And then when you put this peach lipstick on top, it just makes it look all that more beautiful. So I really do love both of these together. I have never been disappointed by her lip liners or her lipsticks. I think that they are some of the best at Ulta. So yeah, love both of these. For this Hard Candy Hydrating Primer, I have to say it's really close to the Milk Makeup Primer. It felt like the Milk Primer. It blended in like the Milk Primer. It started getting tacky like the Milk Primer. So I really do feel this is a dupe for that. Now I will see how my makeup stays on throughout the day with this. Now I'm using a new foundation today, so I'm gonna have to try this with some of my other foundations to see if it works well with them. But for today, I think the foundation laid on really well on top of the primer. So yeah, I hope this is a really good dupe for the Milk Makeup Primer because I would rather purchase this for the price than the Milk Makeup Primer. So I'm gonna keep using this, but so far, so good. So the next thing is the Almay Velvet Foil Cream Shadow. This was in Endgame. I think this looked really pretty on the lids. I think it blended real well. Like I said, I have mentioned this on my channel before, but using it again today, it went on really nicely and I can't say anything bad about it. It's just a really good cream product for the eyelids. So yeah, love this. And I will be using this one pretty soon. I'll let you guys know how that shade worked out. So for the last thing I want to talk about is the Almay Skin Perfecting Comfort Matte Foundation. I feel like the foundation went on really well. I don't feel like it's a very mattifying foundation. I feel like it has a very nice soft matte look to it. I will say by looking at it right now that it doesn't look like it's cakey. It doesn't look like it's in my fine lines. My pores don't look bad. It just looks really pretty on the skin. This color so far is pretty good. I don't think it's too orange or too peach. I think it looks pretty good for my skin tone. But yeah, I think it's a pretty foundation. I'll just have to see how well this works out throughout the day because it is an all-day wear foundation, and I'm also going to test it out with other primers that I have that I've been using for a long time. Another thing I want to mention about this foundation, it's not a full coverage foundation. It's more like a medium coverage. I don't even think it gets close to medium full. I think if you add too much of this on, it's going to look really cakey and it's going to look like a thick layer of foundation on your skin. Even though it doesn't really have a thick consistency, I just feel like it builds up really heavy. So far, so good with this. I will be trying it out a lot more in the days to come. So yeah, that's it for these products. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you're new here. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Take care, and we will talk to you in the next one.